It's Matt Shu from Upright Health, driving my automatic transmission with a really heavy steering wheel, abnormally heavy. Today, I am answering a question from a Tig Rayhoff, who is a YouTube viewer. He asked if there's anything that you can do about cramping and tightness that happens to the foot, to the thigh of the leg that's controlling the pedals, gas pedal, brake pedal. Basically, he said it's killing him, that this leg just gets literally killed. And he's wondering if there's anything he can do, I think it's a he, can do to improve that cramping. So in today's video, we're just going to go over a couple ideas about what you can do for that driver's leg. So let's get started. So the first thing you can do, if you're so inclined and so gifted and blessed as to have a 25-pound steering wheel in your imaginary car, is you can actually take that object, this could be really any object, to massage the thigh. So when you're driving, you're tending to use this right leg quite a bit. You're going to be using your hip flexors and then a lot of the quads as hip flexors to lift up like this. So you're hitting the gas, you lift up, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake. So if you live in a place like the Bay Area and you have to commute a lot, then you end up sitting in traffic and doing several hundred repetitions of this. If you live in most metropolitan areas in the world and you drive a car, you're probably doing several hundred repetitions on only the right leg. So is that going to have a consequence? Yes. A lot of times you're going to get a lot of tension through this thigh, and using something like this 25-pound plate to massage into those really dense, awful bits of muscle can really help relieve that tension. So you can just search around looking for an area that doesn't feel particularly good. Now I know that some of you don't have something like this and you would prefer not to look weird at the gym, monopolizing the weight plates to push into your hip and into your thigh. So if that's you and you want another solution, you can get any kind of a massage stick. There's Theracanes, there's the Body Back Buddy, which I have here. There's all kinds of different massage tools you can use. I believe there's also one called The Stick that you can use to massage your leg. So if you're doing this with a Body Back Buddy, I have recommended this before just because it's a pretty versatile tool, but Theracanes work really well. Any stick is fine. I like to use this ball right here and just come right down onto the thigh. And you can see how easy it is to just get leverage in on the point that you want. All I got to do is lean and keep my elbows from bending, right? So if I keep my elbows loose, then I just fall forward. If I just keep my elbows stiff, then all my weight gets transferred right down into that tight muscle. You can search from all the way up near the top, going all the way down near the bottom without hitting the kneecap. We don't want to be on bones. You will not make your bone soften up. It's just not something worth trying to do unless maybe you're really drunk. But that maybe then you should be watching a different YouTube channel, because this one's not going to be that entertaining when you're drunk. Or maybe it will, I don't know. So also what you want to pay attention to is off on the lateral edge of the thigh. Your lateral quads can also be involved here, and you can also have the TFL, which is up here. It's basically where your pocket opening is. You can work in there as well and just come on down. You want to hold, try to feel something relax. Once it relaxes, then you can go ahead and move to a new position. So I'm on a good spot right there. Usually if you count around 5, 10, sometimes longer, you'll feel the muscle relax, and then you can move on to another spot. The goal here is to feel muscle relaxation, not to be trying to break anything. You're just waiting for things to ease up. So that's the lateral quad. You've already seen me kind of run down the front. You can also go down the inner, like the anterior inner thigh, just like this. So you can see I'm just kind of like that little teardrop muscle right here, just going in a line all the way up towards the groin. If you ever hit anything that's like throbbing, like you feel like there's a blood vessel, for example, underneath what you're pushing, you probably don't want to keep pushing on that, because that's going to end in either, well, let's just leave it at that. Don't push on it, okay? Just don't push on blood vessels. You just want to be on muscle, and then come on out of that. Okay, so got that quad all loosened up. Now, if you're doing a ton of repetitions of alternating gas to brake pedal, that muscle, the quads, are probably going to be super, 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 super tight. So what you can do is also work on some stretching. Now, if you're doing some driving and it's like a long road trip, which I'm assuming is maybe what's happening with poor Tig, what you want to do is just find a way to stretch your quads well. And now, a lot of times people will just do quad stretches where they're just standing like this, and a lot of times people will end up overarching their back like this, which is not what we want to do, because it's actually not stretching our quads that much. What you can do with your car is actually, if you're at a pit stop or any sort of a rest area, you just go ahead and use your car seat. Depending on the shape of your car and the height and everything, this may or may not work, but you can use your car seat as a pad for your knee, and then so I would be in the doorway here, right? So the door is open. I put my knee onto the driver's seat. I grab this foot, and I make sure I keep my lower back as flat as I can, right? So I don't go into a huge arch here. I'm just trying to keep the tailbone tucked down, so I get a huge stretch on the quads there. You can also pull the foot a little bit like that, and then go forward, and that's going to get a little into the medial quads and into the adductors there, and that can be super helpful too. Finally, if you're in this rest area, you may find it really useful to stretch through here, so into the adductors and the medial hamstrings. Just again, using your car seat, you can throw your foot up onto the car seat and let these muscles just ease up and relax. You can play with the angle a little bit, kind of shifting forward, moving into a little bit, just looking for these tight medial hamstrings and adductor muscles to relax. You want to hold stretches for at least a minute. Generally, 2 minutes would be a pretty good sweet spot. You may even want to do 3 minutes. If you've been sitting in the car for an hour or so, it's going to be a good idea to do longer stretches just to get things moving again. And then you could do some other exercises to kind of get your body, get some blood moving through your body, really, and blood moving into your butt. So those are a couple ideas that you can use, Tig, to just begin addressing some of the stuff that's going on. If it's just a simple matter of cramping, those are things that should be able to help knock out the cramping. Beyond that, then you might want to look at some other exercises to deal with, butt weakness, butt muscle weakness, hamstring weakness, and all that. But that's not stuff that you can practically do while you're on a road trip, or while you're fighting with traffic, or when you just arrive at the office. So these are just a couple quick things that you can do to try to get your leg to calm down when you're doing these drives. The other training stuff, definitely look into. It will be helpful to help downregulate the activity of your thigh muscle, but there's tons of other videos of ours on that, so you might want to check out videos on Romanian deadlifts. We have some on box squats. We have some on lunges. Those videos might be helpful for you. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. You might also want to check out the Upright Insider membership, where we have premium content and a whole ton of exercise videos at insider.uprighthealth.com. So I hope that helps you out, and I hope you remember that pain sucks, life shouldn't.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.